All right, ladies and gentlemen, today in the Creative Corner, we are here with a young creative that I met via the internet. I always tell y'all the internet is a crazy place where you can meet the most random people who may be able to take your dream and turn your idea into a business. And today we are joined by Jamarius. I don't know what happened. What's going on, Jamarius? How are you, man? I had a little brain fart right there. How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, it's all about being creative, learning how to just play off of mistakes and just keep it going. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you are doing.
Well, I am a young creative, as he said earlier. I'm from South Carolina. I started my business when I was 17 years old, about 2 years ago. And I really didn't know that I was going to be something this major, impactful, for a better term. And so I call myself a motivational speaker and an encourager. And that's my main purpose and my main goal is to encourage, motivate, and inspire through everything that I do.
We are in the Creative Corner on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, and we are here with Jamarius, who is an author and also a podcaster. So the one thing I want to ask you is, because you're a little bit younger than I am, like, what does being a creative mean to you?
It means being able to express myself in different avenues. You know, I can get on Instagram and be motivational while also being my funny self. I can get, on my podcast and talk about the crazy stuff I done been through and help somebody along the way. So being creative to me is being able to express yourself while also reaching and inspiring other people through your experience.
It's a great answer. It's a great answer. We're on Create and Hustle right here on ESPN Richmond 106.1 with Jamarius. One thing I want to ask you is, because I know that you are an author and I know you recently released a book. Tell us a little bit about your book and also what the journey has been with releasing books through Amazon and what that process is like.
First off, the book is about my life, and I'm doing two parts. So the first part is kind of short because I wanted people to really get me and understand me and know who you're reading from, because I feel a lot of times, especially like public figures or whatever, they will release different projects and you may know them as that public figure, but you never know them as just the person. And so sometimes we really miss great information or encouraging information because we're too busy looking at the figure and not looking at the person. And so the first book was really about finding out who I am, and behind the podcast, behind the social media stuff, the magazine articles, just who I am. And the journey was kind of crazy because at first I really didn't know how I was gonna do it. Like, you a book? Like,
yeah,
what?
It seems crazy.
Where am I gonna do that? And so I had really talked with a lot of different authors and publishers, and I really just said, you know what, I can do it by myself. Because, I just felt like I was getting to run around and different stuff wasn't really coming together like I wanted it to. And so I'm the type of person where if I feel like it's not anything moving, I'm like, okay, I can let me find a way to do it myself. So I found a way to do it myself. And thank you, Amazon, for, supporting and believing in me and pushing your boy, because I needed it.
Yeah. So what do you think separates you from other creatives around your age?
I don't want to sound cocky, but
you got to talk your talk.
Me being me, that separates me already. And also, I'm pure and I'm authentic in everything that I do. I always say I'm an open book. Everywhere I go, I always tell people whatever they ask me, I'm gonna tell them. Because if you can't use your experience, why would you sit there and call yourself a creative? Because a creative uses their experience to reach and teach others. And so I'm always an open book with that, and I'm pure and I'm authentic, and I ain't really written all the competing because I know who I
am. Okay. So we are here with Jamarius, who is the host of Turks Talks, and let us know about the podcast and what you've been doing thus far. And then we could talk about, the announcements of you coming to the network. So
y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Well, I really have been trying to build upon the podcast because a lot of people really don't know that just because, you get a lot of traction or you get a lot of people wanting to see your stuff, that doesn't mean you are in the expert level. It just means you got a lot of traction and a lot of people want to see your stuff. But now that I have come to the network, I have seen that you have to have work. You have to know how to work. You have to be disciplined, and you really have to, want your podcast to be the next best thing. Because there's so many of them, so many of the podcasts talking about the same thing. And so it has taught me a lot. It has taught me a lot: patience, discipline, and most of all, work ethic. Because a lot of times we get so caught up in thinking that we already got it, and we missed the mark. So I'm grateful for that.
So what was it for you that I know you were doing the show on your own, and then you reached out. I know that you reached out like maybe a year or so ago, and we had hit you back, and then we lost communication again. So like what, provoked you to reach out to the network and say, you know what, maybe I need help with this instead of having to do it on my own? Because most will be like, I'm gonna do it on my own and figure it out that way. So what made you reach out and say, I possibly want to work with someone else?
Really, it was the fact that I seen the content on the network's page, and I was like, oh, I love all black, especially in the time we were in last year where, it was everything pro-black. Everybody wanted to be on the black side because we seen how dangerous and how scary it was for us as African Americans. And so seeing networks and blogs and so many different Instagram pages and Facebook pages using their platform to push blackness, that made me happy. And so with me, I was looking for a podcast network where I could express my blackness and be authentic and being me while also, evolving and growing and learning more. And so I said, this network is definitely it's definitely a network for me because I feel like I can still be myself while also growing. And I hit the network up, and at first I was like, "Oh gosh, maybe I didn't hit the mark." But then when I got the email back, I was like, "Yo, I'm really about to really get." So it was exciting for me, and I'm still excited.
That's good, man. Listen, like some of the things that I hear you say are things that, like, for me, working as a creative, is refreshing to hear, because sometimes we work with people who are older, they have like a lot of life boggled down on them. So hearing you and the way you feel like you want to hustle and create, like that really just motivates me to be like, okay, you know what, let me get back on the horse and keep going. So I appreciate that. So my last question for you today is like, what does a future in media look like for you? Like if you had the dream situation of what that would look like what does that look like to you? You got to speak it into existence.
Ooh, really? I really think that the future for me is really just still being myself while also teaching and touching other people to be able to be themselves. And I want my pages and all of my platforms to be like a safe space for people to be able to really get what you need to get for your life and for your mind, while also still feeling convicted because you or you feel that you need to do better in life. And so I always tell people, I'm always that little cousin who will tell you how I feel about you, but still love you enough to, hey, but I know how to help you. Or I know how to, I got some people who can help you out. So I really want to grow my mindset because I'm really the type of creative where I'm like, I want to quit social media every day. So every day I'm logging out. Every day I'm on the verge of deactivating my page. I'm deleting apps every day. And then I realized like, no, this is really what I'm called to do. And when I was younger, everybody used to call me the little preacher man because I used to have so much wisdom. And so now I want to use that for the advantage of my platform.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first right here on Create and Hustle in the Creative Corner, where we've been speaking to Jamarius, who is the host of Turk Talks, which is now going to be on the CWF network. So be sure to look out for that. Jamarius, let us know where we can find you on the socials and any other information that we need to know.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook at Jamarius Leapart, Jamarius Leapart, Leapart. You can find me on Instagram at Jamarius, the number 4 real, and you can find me on Twitter at Jamarius for real.
All right. Well, folks, this is Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creators, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? So, Jamarius, thank you for joining us right here on Create and Hustle. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.